A very good evening to you. This is your Financial Week. I'm Dwayne Burbick. Statin has delivered sobering news on the economy, reporting today that the economy contracted in the second quarter of this year. The economy dipped 0.1%, halting a run of 8 consecutive quarters of growth. The contraction was due to the impact of the heavy rains in May and its impact on agricultural output. The result revises previous estimates from the Planning Institute and the Bank of Jamaica that the economy expanded slightly in the quarter. Finance Minister Audley Shaw has taken aim at corruption at the port, calling for the practice to stop, but also pledging to take steps to curtail the problem. Mr. Shaw was addressing the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, Customs, Tariffs and Port Users Luncheon in St. Andrew. Dashan Hendricks reports.
Finance Minister Audley Shaw taking on a perennial problem at the ports, corruption, which manifests itself like an incurable sore few are brave enough to confront, but while many prefer to hide their heads in the sand in pretending to be oblivious to the problem, Mr. Shaw is staring the issue in the face.
There's a fair degree of corruption that continues, and I'm sorry to be so blunt, but the corruption goes to high levels.
But he said the corruption is not just at Jamaica Customs.
That corruption cuts across the Port Authority. It cuts across our security services. It is widespread. And it has to be cut out.
He says that the corruption is not limited to people trying to evade duties at the ports, but also a national security concern which needs to be tackled. To do so, he says that the country is now looking at the latest technology in port security. New scanners are to be procured.
That can identify everything down to a cockroach.
But then he admits it's the collective integrity of the operators which will make the system work.
At the end of the day, we can get the greatest equipment that can identify everything. If we have people who decide that they're going to turn a blind eye to the television monitors or the screens that are looking at the containers, then the systems won't work.
He appealed to those in his hearing to make a difference. Jamaica, he says, will be the beneficiary.
We can start by cleaning up our act at customs, in our importing and in our exporting, in preserving our revenue. We can increase revenue at customs by between 30 and 40%. And we can cut the rates after that.
For the Financial Week, I am Dashan Hendricks.
And Mr. Shaw has weighed in on the undue delays merchants are facing at the port to export or import products. The merchants say issues are causing shipping lines to bypass Jamaica, while the reputation of suppliers is being sullied by them not being able to ship products on time.
Some exporters have seen their containers lying around fallow on the wharf. Some have lost, literally, millions of dollars because their containers have not been able to move. So that one, I urge everyone, Customs, Port Authority of Jamaica, get that straightened out quickly.
Scotia Investments says the Supreme Court has approved the scheme under which its stocks will be cancelled, and current shareholders paid $38 for each unit held. With the approval, the scheme is now effective, and Scotia Investments says the shareholders' payments will be dispatched starting next Tuesday. The shareholders in Trinidad will get payments in US dollars. The company is to be taken private under the ownership of Scotia Group Jamaica. The Jamaican dollar strengthened for the 7th straight day on Friday, pushing the price of the U.S. currency to $129.91, the lowest it has been in 3.5 weeks. The Canadian dollar is going for $105.09. The pound sterling costs $173.87, while the euro sells for $152.45. The JC Index surged more than 3,168 points today, while the Junior Market Index lost 52. The winners of the day included 138 Student Living, Cable and Wireless, Carreras, Jamaica Brawlers, Knutsford Express, Panjam, the Skagit Group, and Stationery and Office Supplies. On the losing end were AMG Packaging and Paper, Jamaica Producers, Key Insurance, Lasco Manufacturing, Seprod, and T-Tech. And that's your Financial Week. I'm Dwayne Burbick. Have a great weekend.